go. All right. So let's show you this right here. Again, Jamie, we knew it was you who came on and started ranting and carrying on my comment section because you're the only ones to make those. We make other people make those fake accounts, but again, like I said, I got somebody monitor my accounts, and he clearly can come back and say, "Hey, look, the fake account that popped up came from the fellow you're having the problems with." First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is ILEG, Infusion Light Energy Gain Technology Screens. So let me explain something to you. Number one, I actually did a short video of explaining on the great time I had living in the garage. I'm not ashamed of living in the garage. It didn't bother me anybody whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I'm in the process of basically buying some land, getting a house, and getting it shaped like a garage because I liked it. I did like it. I loved it. So no, not ashamed of that. But you wanted me to be ashamed of that, but I'm not. Second, yes, I was living in my sister's laundry room. Why did I lie about that? That's where I was at. I came here from Philadelphia to Allentown, and I didn't have time to find a place. So what I did was I set up shop in her laundry room, and that's where I basically did my paperwork. That's why my company is legit and yours is not, because you don't have proper documents to run anything, because you even lied on the one document that could have helped you in anything, your LLC. Couldn't even tell the truth in that. They lied on that too. That's going to later on bite you in the butt. But again, anything that you're trying to expose on me that you think is supposed to embarrass me, I don't know how this would work if I've already told people I've done this, because it doesn't embarrass me at all whatsoever. What's embarrassing to you is the fact that you came on YouTube acting like you were a professional, acting like you knew so much about screen paints, acting like you were this big, bad, tough guy at the end of the day, find out you're not this person. You were afraid when the process server first came to your front door, which more will be coming, just to let you know, because again, we did file multiple suits with the CCB of the copyright nonsense. And this is a person's afraid to leave his apartment. He talked all this trash about how he's the big bad guy and afraid to leave your apartment. You got caught multiple times matching house paint in a YouTube video. I don't see you ever reposting that demonstration of you with the red hoodie on, Thrasher hoodie on, doing any demonstrations, showing that off, because you know why? Because that's the most embarrassing video you ever did. That's when you literally got caught matching house paint. Can, bear receipts, whatever. It makes no difference. We have a copy of it anyway, so it's posted. So it seems like you're the one who gets embarrassed over these things. You're mad because yesterday we posted your web address. You just sat there and did you not? This is why I think you're bipolar. Did you not just sit there on YouTube and say you're moving on to bigger and better things? Did you not say that you were dropping your company? All right then. Then what are you crying about? Why are you crying about this now? Why are you coming to the Room channel crying about this? You dropped your company. Why did you drop your company? Because you said you're moving on to bigger and better things. From what we've seen so far, you haven't moved on to anything but being scared to death to leave your apartment, number one. And number two, we've seen you just selling off your toys. That's another one. That's pretty much it. You said you got this fantastic raise at your job and you were going to go in and start your own 3D printing company and all this stuff like that. No. Your time is spent basically on YouTube crying about me. That's it. I, on the other hand, because I sat back and utilized the time in my sister's laundry room, I went out and got my company license. So this is what's happening for me in 2026. We landed a major into a major program that allows small businesses to grow to the next level. Advertising, everything you can possibly name. This is going to blow my company through the roof. I had 2 executives come into my office and see my technology. I've got a technology now that can produce anywhere it wants to go. I've been all over Allentown having fun with that thing at the end of the day. We have so much technology that we're engineering. It's not even funny because our stuff keeps expanding. What else do we have at the end of the day on our products on top of that? Oh, yeah, we developed multiple different versions of AdTech, which we showed up. Black version, there's a visible version, and we have these color versions that we'll be showing up pretty soon. Every time my camera comes on, I'm doing something crazy with that technology. So you're mad about that. That's what you're upset about. And then on top of that, I got funding, grants that are coming to my company that allow my company to expand even farther. So I think my road does not stop at the laundry room. and doesn't stop at the garage. And even when I was in the garage, I was kicking the crap out of your paint, literally beating the crap out of your stuff. Now, if you need more time, I can send something to your address tomorrow. I'll send you more paint and get them another refusal. I can back myself up, Fernando. You can't back your product. So this is why I have your box of paint sitting under my desk that I made for basically $11. I made your product for $11 right there. Sent it straight to you, sent it back. You got amnesia, you don't remember these things, do you? Man, $11. You charge your customers like 60 to 90 bucks for some paint that we made for $11 on some hobby paint that I got over on Amazon. I bought all that paint on Amazon. This is the mixture, this is how your stuff is made. And over here, this stuff failed miserably. Everybody has the tracking numbers. Everybody know you refused the order and sent it back to us. Now, why would you refuse something and send it back? Keep in mind, this is made off your own tutorial video. Your own tutorial video on how to make the product. So if you denied this, that means that the information that you gave her for a tutorial video, you can't back that up. You had a bunch of people make that paint back then. We was giving it away for free, and you couldn't back it up because this is what came out. This is what we made it out of. All right, then. That being said, right there from the door, you're mad because your domain is now disconnected from the server. Now, why does the domain get disconnected server? He wasn't paying his fees. He wasn't paying his fees. You got to pay annual fees on your domain name. Even though you own it, you have to pay the annual fees to connect to their server. That's why it says the domain name has flown away. Right at the top, I put the address you can see for yourself. There's right there at the top. Entire Wix domain.com redirected for Crow 1176 screen paint mixes. You are disconnected from the server. Why you're disconnected from the server? Because we found your domain name on a sales site. Someone bought it. Someone owns the rights to that, his domain name. And what they're going to do is, because of all the bad blood, and they can probably do research to see the kind of stuff that domain name had, because as people do, the research on the domain name, they'll go back and say, I don't want it. And of course, I wouldn't want it either. I would not want it either at all, because that domain name is showing up in court, showing up on police records. It's on a lot of stuff at the end of the day. Mind you, dox people's addresses on your own domain, on your own website. You committed fraud on your domain site. Scams, rip-offs. You even got a receipt for a black Frankenstein. You don't make a black Frankenstein. You know how to make black paint. So how the heck were we able to obtain a receipt for a black Frankenstein? Only that, you violated a company's name and took and made money off their name without paying out any royalties. That's another crime right there. Again, doxing addresses. We got you did recording on a live stream, doxing my address and my sister's address. So who the freak would want to buy that domain name and use it in the original form it is? No, they get rid of that. They're going to go and buy the domain name, and they're going to get rid of the name of it and change it to something else. All right, while you are here, you can start fulfilling your dream by creating a Wix website. Now, what Jaime does is when Jamie's outed for doing certain things, Jaime will lie about it and says, well, I'm not doing it anymore. What are you doing? But because he's outed, he'll go back and say, oh, I just bought this back. You can't bring that domain name back. You're in a lot of trouble. That domain name has an LLC. It's linked to a lot of stuff. It's linked to your LLC. And because it's linked to your LLC, you're missing sensitive documents again. This is just going to open up another can of worms for you, just like he tried to do. Like he got the LLC because he wanted to be like us. Jamie's always been trying to be like us from day one. That's why he steals our specification sheets. That's why he steals our labels. That's why he steals our customers' pictures. All that stuff. He's always wanted to be like me. He even took my company's name. Probably still has it. Trying to be like me. He wants to be me so badly, but he can't. We give him the opportunity to make our product, which he had failed multiple times on camera. So this is what it comes down to. Look, man, you seem to have a lot of free time on your hands. Do I need to make a phone call? Because I think you think at the end that I'm bluffing. That I can't call any one of these agencies I told you that we can contact and we can get somebody at your front door. Do I need to prove that point? Because you know I'm a man of my word. I'll prove it. Just we talked about that CCB. Then I have a process server to stamp your door. It shows I back my what I said. Then do I need to make a phone call? Because it doesn't have, you don't have to be sleeping in that apartment tomorrow. If I make a phone call, you can be sleeping in a jail cell. Now again, I'm gonna let this one slide. I like to give people a chance. You already got to go to court anyway. We can speed all this up a lot faster for you. Keep in mind that you put your wife in jeopardy too, because when they come through there, they're going to ask for documentation on all of you. Which means if she doesn't have documentation, that means bottom line is she's going with you. Now, I will sit there and scream, oh, it's racist. No, Jamie's not racist. You're a criminal. That's what you are. You're a criminal. There are criminal charges against you. I think 37 of those are with the FBI. You have multiple crimes, government crimes at that make it even worse. You are a criminal. That's what you are. You ripped off all your customers, your whole fan base of selling them basically black and white paint that did nothing special. There's nothing special about it. We proved that multiple times. And then to send them back this stuff called the refusal and have him send it back that was made of his own tutorial video. For those of you that are brainwashed at the end of the day, that should quite clear it up for you. And how dumb he thinks you are. Because he does think you guys are stupid. You're dumb enough to slide a credit card to that winky, wacky website, which again didn't explain jack about what the product really was. So he figures you're dumb enough to buy whatever he puts out there for you. Reading through an application form. Alright, it's pretty easy. I don't know. Okay, I see. When we get to court, I'm going to request my lawyer request for your DBA, EIN, and we need your license to have a cell in the state of California. I'm going to request that. I don't know why you mentioned laundry room. I tell you about the laundry room. I don't know what for. Am I being embarrassed about that? For it to come down to what, Mr. Fernando? Again, I make more than you do. Again, my stuff is better than yours. Far better than yours. You have nothing anywhere close to what I make. I'm licensed. That's how I'm able to get all the stuff that I need for my company. I can get grants. I can get loans, all that. I got a DBA. You got one of those? I got an EIN. You got one of those. I even got a business tax wholesale license and just applied for a vending license and got that too. So where's your paperwork at? You couldn't even fill out a proper LLC without lying on the application. You know how sad it is that you have to lie on the application of an LLC? Because you know why? You don't know business. You barely can spell. And you think you know business at the end of the day. You don't know the first thing about business at all, period. You don't even know how to market your product. You don't even know how to sell your product at the end of the day. You don't know how to do proper specification sheet, testing, none of that stuff. If I was to ask you to write out an official contract, I bet you couldn't even write one out. You gotta learn how to spell first before you go down that road. You can write contracts. And I guarantee you, whatever the lawyer was probably explaining to you on that LLC, you probably didn't even understand. I understood it. I write documents all the time. That's one of the first things you can learn in business, how to write documents. Learn how to spell. If you know the spelling checker, when that underscore comes up under red, blue, green, whatever they have it, it's telling you that you spelled it incorrectly. The problem is that he doesn't know how it's supposed to be used in a sentence. That's the big problem right there. Google can tell you all day long how it's spelled and how it's meant, but if you don't know the meaning behind it, then you don't know what it is. Should have stuck to a lemonade stand. Business, this kind of business is not for you. Any kind of business is not for you. We talked about starting a 3D printing company. Did you go into the ins and out of what's required to have a 3D printing company? The different type of licenses you would have to obtain? Even down to sanitation department, you would have to show some kind of license in order to run a business. You can't just run a business just like that. You have to be licensed to run that business. It used to be that you had to be, if you're online, that was not considered to be so. It is so now. It was so for quite some time. But I've already had a license. I already applied for it. I'm a paper junkie at the end of the day. I like doing paperwork. So I find out exactly how much information, what can I get my company locked into. The more my paperwork is locked into my company, the more it makes it easier for me to obtain other documents that I need to run my business. If I need a business tax wholesale license, I need an EIN number for that. I have an EIN number for my company, just in case when I start getting employees, I can basically have them all registered under the EIN number. Ta-da! You don't have any of that information at all, period. So that's what's going to be questioned when your business goes to court on, do you have these documents at hand? If not, you'll be fined for each one of these. I don't have a delinquent on my LLC at all, period. There's nothing there at all, period. You have delinquents on your LLC. You've lied about your products. You got stuff you made. We have recordings of dummy shopping carts, stuff that you made off the top of your head, no testing, whatever, just threw it up there and claimed that to sell to customers. There's a whole lot of stuff you did. And then in the end, you made some statement that the reason why you did all that was for your kids. So you're basically going to put that burden on your kids that you scammed, ripped off, committed crimes, and everything else on your kids? Well, you're a dirty piece of work, aren't you? Well, I'm telling you, when your time comes up, man, I'm going to be sitting there watching that whole thing, man. I'm just going to sit there and watch that whole entire Fire Freak show go down. This guy's going to burn into ash. And it's coming. It's coming. He knows it's coming. You got to pay for all that nonsense, man. God knows what kind of trouble you got yourself into in that apartment complex. I'm pretty sure he ripped off a few people in there, too. And I'm pretty sure they saw our demonstrations, too. So look. You want to come on my channel, you want to cry, because you usually do. You do come on my channel and cry a lot. Here's the kicker for you. Use a real YouTube channel when you come in. Don't like your own reply, because we know you liked your own reply. We saw that. Told you, we can read all that stuff from here, man. But anyway, don't like your own reply. Don't go in and use fake YouTube channels. Come in like a man at the end of the day. When I come and address you, I come in as a man. You will know who I am, where I'm coming from, right from the door. When you address me, you hide. Just like the process server came to your door. But these people that are coming to your door, other than the process server, these other individuals who come to your front door, they will go through that front door. Because they have that authority. Now, am I mad about you coming? No, you're a child at the end of the day, Jamie. I treat you like a 3-year-old kid. When you do stuff like that, it shows me at the end of the day that you have nothing left. When you give off evil response, you have nothing left. If you did have something, but most companies do, they back it up. They bring out a better product. You have nothing left. So anything you have left is insults. And somewhere in the back of your childlike adolescent mind, you think for some reason that's supposed to bother me. What, mention I lived in a garage? I told people I lived in a garage. I even did a YouTube video. These are some kind of, I did a short video on it, on how much fun I had, and missed it was the best time I had. I already did a video on that. You have Alzheimer's, something going on in that brain of yours, something's not clicking right. I did a demonstration. I told about how I was in the, I started off getting all my paperwork done in the laundry room. And you said it led to what? All that, 14 years led to what? I'm the only one right now who has a technology that reads in direct sunlight. The only one who has that. So let me get this straight. 14 years ended up where? with the most powerful screen right now in the market, with millions of dollars, maybe billions in the advertising industry, a technology that can read outside in direct sunlight that no one else has. Technology we have now that no one else can match, one of the best black screen paints on the market. Are you kidding me? Companies are already locked in for major contracts. Companies already set up with this city for a business program to help our company grow with advertising, the whole 9 yards. Grants that are coming to our company. So that's supposed to be the end of my legacy versus yours, which is, yeah, that mess right there. Your website's not connected, disconnected from your domain name. Dozens of videos of you matching house paint. Refusal of you sending a box back of your own product back to us. Again, embarrassing for you. $1,900 worth of orders were sent back to our account when that whole thing started about buy whatever you want nonsense. Cried on every single receipt at that. We even got canceled receipts on my eBay account when you canceled $700 worth of orders over there. I need to go on about the embarrassment of your legacy. You don't have a legacy. Jamie, you have an embarrassment. That's what you have. Whew. Man. That's what you got to show for it. That's it. Just this. This is what you got to show for it. I have 2 websites. I asked you about the other third one. And that's all you got to show for it. I got digital business cards. You don't even have a business card at all, period. Why would you get one? What would be the purpose of you even getting a business card? And you ran this business into the ground. What makes you think you're going to be able to do the other one just as well? And keep in mind, I can't explain to you enough. You can't do a 3D printing business in your building. It's not designed residential. It's not zoned for business. So you can't do that at all, period. Now, if you're selling something like off eBay, you're selling like something that, t-shirts, whatever, so and so and so, that they'll let you slide and get away with. But he's talking about chemicals on 3D printing machine. That's what he's talking about doing. Yeah, right. Man, I would have, you do that nonsense in the day, let me get word from anybody that you're doing that nonsense. I'm going to have license inspection go through your building. Because I'm not getting that blood on my hands at the end of the day. He's going to mess around. He's going to blow something up in that apartment. It's bad enough I counted about 30 aerosol cans tucked away in some little pocket over there in an apartment that's not even what you call room temperature. It's not what you call climate controlled environment. Oh, he doesn't know what that means. Go Google it. You don't have that. Your area, because you have an air conditioner in there, can be too cold or too hot, and that's dangerous for any form of aerosol can, especially when you got 30 of them stacked in a corner somewhere. So that's extremely dangerous. Let me explain something to you. When I lived in the garage, my garage was cleaner than your apartment. Because I went in there and I actually did the entire makeover on that building in there. It was cleaner than your apartment. Your apartment is trifling. It is trifling. I've seen the panorama view in that place, and it is trifling. You got stacks and stacks of boxes and all kinds of mess packed in the corners. Right now, I could call license inspection because it's considered to be a fire hazard on how your apartment's set up. And then you got a ton of aerosol cans in there, added in with all that trash and whatever nonsense you got packed away in corners. That is a potential fire hazard. You got so much stuff packed behind the back of the door, you could barely open it all the way up. And that's blocking a fire exit, which is also considered to be a violation under California Penal Code. Do I need to make a phone call, Mr. Fernando? I know a lot of things about zoning. Trust me. I learned that from you guys. You guys basically put that zoning guy, and I learned all this stuff. So, yeah, I study different states. I'm always curious about that kind of stuff. So in your apartment, I counted multiple violations, which basically clearly from the pictures I've taken from your environment, I can clearly submit those and have someone come to that area, which means they would have to condemn your apartment. Keep in mind when the inspector came to the door, and if you look at the door has a lot of matted dog hair and animal hair laying against the door. Also, the door is very dirty and filthy, which means that your apartment's unfit. See, here's the thing. You're only supposed to have a certain amount of people in one apartment. And the problem you have there is your apartment's compressed. There's a lot of people living in it. Consider the fact on top of that, you have animals living in the same environment also, which makes it uninhabitable. And then you're trying to run a 3D printing press in there at the same time. Yeah, right, man. You're going to mess around and blow that place up. And you're trying to do a business at the end of the day. So which means, where are you storing all these bottles, these chemicals that involve with 3D printing? Where are they going? Because I know you're not sticking this stuff in the trash. If you stick it in the trash, that's a very serious violation. Where you put it at? And I know you're not dumping this down the sink or in any kind of drain unit outside, so maybe I need to do make a phone call. Chemicals used for 3D printing. You talking about something, man, you got to be kidding me. So this is some very serious stuff right here. And I know you're not talking about building some building flammable. Yeah, I'm gonna make a phone call Monday morning. I know I'm gonna have to make a phone call. You got that? Because what I saw in one of the videos, I saw 30 aerosol cans back there, at least 30. You know how dangerous one of those things are if they were to implode? You put yourself at danger, you put your kids at danger, I don't care if they're grown or not, you put everybody in danger. And you got people living around you and you got this stuff in there. It's like running a meth lab in your apartment. Let's see. Chemicals used for 3D printing, are they flammable? Disposal and moderation of printers are flammable to various degrees. You're gonna blow that place up. You're gonna put a big hole in that building. Can't have that stuff in there. So this is what they have to do. When you apply for your license, if he had his license, but you don't. The third thing on the license, you have to get 3 approvals to get it. You don't have to. You can't go down and just get the license. You're done. You require 3 approvals. 3 people have to sign off on your license to get one. So you have to go through an application form, which I had to go through. You have to have someone on that district who initiating the license sign off on it. But the last person that signs off of that makes it legit is sanitation. They have to sign off on it. And before they sign off, they have to know exactly what you are operating, what you have, the facility you're operating in, all that. They got to know all that stuff. Where are these dumpsters going to be at? Can't sit there and say, well, I want a dumpster to blah, 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 blah. Because you can't get this at a house. There's no way in the world they're going to drop a dumpster like that in front of your house. It's never going to happen. When have you ever walked around and seen one of those yellow dumpsters? They come in different colors, mostly yellow and orange. With them, some of them have hazmat stickers on the side. When have you ever seen a chemical dumpster in the back of someone's house? You won't see it there. It's residential. Can't get them there. So you would have to basically have this at an industrial site. And then it's what type of industrial site, because not all industrial sites are actually registered for chemicals. There has to be a certain type of building you can put this in. These buildings also, too, if they try to say the person has a building where they're dealing with chemicals only, and they want to convert the building into residential, yeah, good luck on that. That's never going to happen. Because there's chemicals that could have seeped into that building. They would have to tear the entire building down, dig up the earth. I mean, they really have to do a crazy job on basically removing anything, and they still would have to bring testers out to make sure the soil and all that stuff. It's so expensive. So you're just better off just basically just keeping it as it is. It's an industrial building. That's what it's used for. Because there's no other way you would ever turn it into a apartment complex. Yeah, people are getting cancer, lung problems, all kinds of stuff. They never know where it's coming from. That stuff gets seeped from the earth right into the building. That's what people were doing at one point. They were taking landfills and they're basically putting houses on top of it. They're having problems with that mess. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff on here, man. Example, ABS and nylon are considered to be more flammable and can produce harmful fumes in burning. And this stuff literally has this stuff in it. So when you're operating these units, they're going to ask what size unit you're operating. You got a tabletop. Ask you how many times you're operating this thing a day. 3D printers, fire safety caution prevention. Yeah, and here's a table version. This is definitely a high violation. Then you have to go through another process too. There's another process that they have to go through to make sure you're not printing ghost guns. They have to go and inspect your machine. Make sure you're not printing a ghost gun. And that's very serious. Anytime that I wonder if this machine is registered. Can you register that machine? Because just like drones, you have to register your drones now. Everybody needs to register drones. You have to register these things too because they're ghost guns. Metal powers are used in binding jetting powders, bedded in fusion. Good gracious, man. Okay. My buddy does it. He wears a hazmat suit. I laugh at him about this. I call him his ET unit. Because, man, you have no idea, man. The stuff he dropped, here's a big one. I have no idea what this thing can push off. Usually, flammable should be kept away from heat source. Y'all blow that place up. Organic solvents like acetone. Oh man, other used in processing. Usual flammable. It should be kept in away from heat source. So if you have the heat on, well, I don't know why we have the heat on. It's in California, but the apartment can get hot. That'll trigger it off. If the air conditioning too cold, if it's too cold in the area, can cause something to trigger and implode. He doesn't have an air controlled environment. Not air temperature controlled environment. Proper ventilation. He doesn't even have proper ventilation. The only ventilation he has in there, he has a window. What? A window and the because I got a few people who live in this building unit. They have 2 bedrooms in theirs. So yeah, he doesn't have proper ventilation. Where this thing is sitting there right now, sitting near the window, and where the window's at, it's just a bunch of clutter right around the window. And Jamie, you may think I'm doing this out of your stupidity. No, you do dumb stuff all the time. You're what you call the Eddie Haskell scenario. Eddie, if you ever watched Leave It to Beatty, Eddie Haskell was a jerk. He was just an all-around, everyday jerk. That's what he was. And that's what people accepted him as. And you couldn't get mad at him. He's a jerk. He was just born a jerk. That's all he was. And that's how we see Jamie. Jamie's a jerk. That's how we see him. You can't waste your time getting angry over Jamie because Jamie's just a jerk. He's like that 24/7. We call him the Eddie Haskell scenario. That's what he is. So that's what he is. I'm doing this because this is a concern. Because, man, you could kill somebody with that machine. Your apartment is packed. Because the first time we did a panorama review, I was like, what the freak? I just saw stacks and stacks and stuff in corners. And it looks like hoarders up in there. There's just so much stuff. Like, why is he just, I'm thinking, like, why is he just a storage unit and put his stuff in storage? Because he can't do it. Can't put his stuff in storage. You know why? He's not documented. You have to have paperwork. Everybody's done storage units before. You know the nightmare you go to a storage unit. I had an ID of mine that was basically, it was linked to my mail, but the ID was expired. And I still couldn't get it. I had to go down to DMV and go the whole 9 yards and get the whole proper blah, 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 and then come back and, here you go. Yeah, because they don't let that stuff slide. You got to have ID, and they got to be matching the address of the mail you're getting. You know how they are about that. Because they don't want people in there storing all kinds of hazmatic, crazy stuff at the end of the day. That's why. You can't, people have a restriction code of what you can't have in there. That's why I need all that information on you. But the problem is, on top of that, yeah, there's an issue. Some places request your lease. Have to have a copy of your lease. I got a lease here and I got a lease at my other place. But you don't have a lease. Because again, like I said, no proper paperwork. So there's a lot of things you get outed out if you don't have those documents. They're going to be needed. So no, he's not, he can't have this in there. He can't even have what he has in there. Gee whiz. Are 3D printers flammable? Some PLEs are less likely to catch fire with other than yeah, but they're probably talking about open area. You have to be in an open, that well ventilated area. So if you have I'd say a place like this would be a good size for one. But if you couldn't have all this stuff in here like this, it's not going to work. There's just too much stuff going on here. You have to have plenty of windows. So a lot of windows in here, like maybe about 3 windows on this side, 3 windows on that side. Yeah. Operate in the garage? Yeah, you can, because you got a whole big door you can just pull up there. You got all that air pushing in and out of there. Where he's operating that place? No. No, 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 no. I wouldn't even operate an aerosol can in there. And you got all those people walking in and out. You got your wife, you got your kids, and you got pets in there too on top of that. That's animal abuse right there for the door. Oh, man. At least I know at the end of the day, when my cat goes to the bathroom at, you can't keep track of that, especially dogs. Dogs go anywhere they want to go. And like cats will go to a certain spot over and over again and again and again. That's where they go. Regardless, that's where they go. But a dog pretty much will go in some places that you will find out later on about. You can train them, but they still will go in places. You know, rant about this too. Go ahead and rant about it. I'm going to call license inspection on Monday morning and have them do a check, a courtesy check on your apartment. Because again, you can't be operating this, man. Because if you're doing that much printing, where you're doing maybe about 5 or 6 units a day, where are you putting the containers at? Where are you putting those? Where are those containers going at? Because I know they can't be going in the regular trash. I know you can't be putting them there. If you're dumping those in that dumpster, that's the dumpster you have connected to your building, that's a violation right there. And I know you're not washing those containers out in the sink. I know you're not pouring them outside. So how are you disposing of something like that? Hazmatic dumpsters. You gotta get a. He can't get this because he's not licensed. That's why. There's orange dumpsters. I tell you, they were orange. Sometimes it's green, depending on what state you're in. That's a hazmatic dumpster. I wouldn't go crawling around those things. If you do dumpster diving, don't go near those things. Those orange dumpsters will mess you up. Or inside of the dumpster, if it's a green one, they'll have the little symbol. A little triangle, octagon, or a diamond symbol will be on the side of it telling you what it is. I know about that stuff because I thought that if my company grew to a certain length, what kind of dumpsters would I need in order to be able to dispose of that if I got to that level? See, and I told you, sometimes they're kind of a bright greenish yellow. And then you have to tell them what type of chemical. If the chemical catches fire or whatever happens, does it give off a scent, give off an odor, all that stuff has to be given up. Because again, if you're just dumping that stuff anywhere, you can be in a lot of trouble for that. When you first said 3D printing company, I don't know the freak you won't. Where you gonna run it at? I know you ain't running it out of that apartment. You shouldn't be using that many aerosol cans in there as it is in that small little apartment. That's the suit my buddy wears. Plus the ET costume. He wears in his unit. All his employees wear those units. Tabletop 3D printer. These are the small ones. These are the ones they'll let you have right here. To a certain degree. You're still going to have to show a lot of ventilation. And you're going to show exactly how you're disposing the chemicals. So you can't put those chemicals in regular trash. Those are empty containers. Table 3D printer shape. So that wherever. Or somebody needs to print it out in actual table. We need a big one to do that. My buddy got the big one. Let's see. Table 3D printer. They don't give me tabletops. So the one he got is more like a tabletop. His is big. You got a big one. Yours is not a tabletop. You require ventilation for that, man. Ugh, man, all those aerosol cans in there. Yeah, I'll make a phone call. I gotta make a phone call. And if you take it out of anything, disrespect Jaime. No. You always are. Oh, I've known you for years, man. You're nothing but a little crying, whiner, complainer. You don't back anything up. You do. Company's over. It's done. You're washed up. You're finished. That's it. And to make it good, you're gonna run a 3D printing company in that freaking apartment? Are you kidding me? Without proper ventilation, on top of that, with people living around you, you'll run the risk of killing somebody. He has no respect for nobody else. So he don't respect his own family at the end of the day. The documents we sent you could have cleared you from any of this nonsense which you would have came today, but you would sign the cease and desist order, which you refused to. Just didn't care. You just basically threw your entire family under the desk and bust. And now we found out who you really are. You found out got information on what you have and what you don't have. You don't have documentation. Man, when they hit your placement at the end of the day, what are you going to do? You literally put you can't blame anybody else. You put a giant arrow over top of your apartment. Put it into an LLC and then turn around and committed crimes against the LLC. Then you got nothing better. Don't you no, I forgot you can't leave the apartment. So you got nothing better to do and come on my channel and cry on my channel about, oh, he's living in the garage. I kind of did a video on that and still be able to live in the garage. Big deal, whatever. Oh, he's in a 14 years spent in his in a laundry room. Yeah, I was in a laundry room. Where else was I supposed to go? I came here from to Allentown. Most people come here. They sleep on their buddy's sofa. Some people basically sleep here, sleep there. They make a difference. They get on their feet and get their own place. That's what they do. This is coming from a person who's been in an apartment for how long? For the time span that I have been in a somewhat 4 different houses. Are you kidding me? Jim, you know what my next house is going to look like? It's huge. It's going to be big. I need a work lab at the end of the day. So I got a barn I'm about to pick up for $250,000. You know why I can do that, Fernando? Because I have a technology that reads in the sunlight. That's why. Every company on the planet's going to want that technology. I haven't got people down here in Allentown already waiting for it to launch. What do you have to show for it? Nothing. But a website that went under, and you're trying to start an illegal 3D printing company out of your apartment, which you can't do to begin with. And you're not even guaranteed that you're going to even be in that apartment that long. It's going to come down to him selling off all his stuff to survive. If the landlord gets spooked enough, and he probably will get spooked, he's going to kick him out. It's like, put it this way, they're going to treat him like, if you got somebody who's running by the law, and they've been hiding them, and guess who gets in trouble? The person who wants to hit them too. So he's going to get spooked sooner or later. He's going to remove, because he's going to be terrified. And you, my friend, got bigger problems to worry about than what I'm doing with my life. You're just mad and jealous at the end of the day. You're not where I'm at. You never were where I was at to begin with anyway. You got on YouTube, made all these false accusations, say you were my product, you did the same thing, say people hundreds, and yet when we buy your stuff and bring it over here, all we get is a bunch of crying on receipts, and you writing on containers, not ambient light rejection. Well, I know what would you write on a container? You're not ambient light rejection if you're challenging a company that is ambient light rejection technology. Super crybaby. What's the point of that? I saw that. I was like, this guy's a freaking idiot. Why would you write on there that you're not ambient light rejection technology, Kenny, big punctuation marks, if you are basically at the end of the day challenging the company that is ambient light rejection? We're experts in the field. Yes, I can say that. So you naysayers are all upset. And it's not just him. There's a bunch of them are bitter over it. Well, look, let me tell you something. You're mad at me at the end of the day because you don't have a screen paint. Then go buy it from him. Then go make it. You can make this stuff for free, you freaking idiots. You're mad at me at the end of the day because this company went under. How dumb can you be at the end of the day? I'm talking about his customers. How dumb can you be? First of all, you were dumb enough. Hey, what are you doing over there? You know what? Forget it. You don't even mess with that stuff anyway. Go ahead. Go back up there. That's weird. I've never seen you up there anyway. You chasing something? You find something? Never seen him over there before. Go ahead. That's different. I've never seen him climb and anywhere in the top area of my cabinets. I'm like, are you a normal cat? You're supposed to be climbing up there and stuff. Go climb up there. I don't care. Anyway, as I said before, to the customers, Seriously, how dumb are you? Did you read what was inside of his specification sheet and you literally thought that was a product that was going to work for you? You literally could have did that for $11.50. My cat blanket matched that stuff. Cat blanket! Your daughter or your son's hoodie would have matched that screen paint. And you bought that stuff at the end of the day? Yeah, okay. Ah, man, you should did your research. Then you would have been like my customers. You would have been outside watching sea turtles, doing MMA fights, and doing race car games outside, picking up 100% contrast levels to spend all his money for these god-awful expensive projectors that you couldn't even work right to begin with. Oh, he's in here working. He's in here working in my site. Yeah. I got somebody in here broken no access to my site. One of my buddies. He's in here doing the work. Ugh. Then we need to get to convert it to something else. Like, man, you got to make up your mind, man. Every time you turn around, you're always changing it. I know. It's a blacklist right there. The famous blacklist. Yes. All the dirt we found on Fernando doing the most dirtiest things you could possibly think of are here, including the knockoff projectors that we tested in the future that we told you were trash and just did not work. There you go. That's the video we made his paint from. Right there. His own video. See that box over there, the refusal? Right over there? Yeah, that's his own paint he sent back to us because he couldn't back it up. Hey, he ripped a lot of customers off on that one. Now, mind you, if you gave away this paint for free, that means you couldn't even back up the paint you gave away for free. There's something food for thought. Network Race 773, we did it first. We're the ones who started the challenge. He did it later on. Customers pressured him. He matched. Made several of his products. Made the Frankenstein mix, made the UV mix, made the Metallica mix, all that from that simple black and white mixture. There you go. For some of his customers out there who thought he had the best of the best, the screen paint products. Mind you, he talked all that trash about how his products were going to be around for a long time and our company was supposed to go under and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Hey, Jamie, let me take your screen out in the sun today, because it's sunny out there. I would literally take your product out there again and watch it wash out again. Nerd name is stuff ad tech. You have lost your mind in the day. You don't even know what ad tech is. Look at this. This is what you guys purchased. This is supposed to be his flagship paint. This is what he gets mad about because he doesn't want you to see it. Jamie, I know you're in the room, so hello, how you doing? Good morning. Just to let you know, I got process service coming to your front door pretty soon, Mr. Fernando. You owe me $60,000, which you will pay. So whatever you have left over in that collection of yours that you've been selling off, we will take the rest of it. And you still owe me 60 grand. When we get to court and federal charges involved in that, you owe me a couple million. Look at this. Rip this customers off. Clean. House paint. You could have slid that off a shelf. That's why a majority of his customers pulled their videos, because you know why? They were embarrassed. Yeah, you'd be embarrassed too. Even more embarrassing, he sent his own paint back to us. The refusal. There we go. Unboxing. Crow lost a case here with PayPal. Lost another case with PayPal. This one was shipped over to us by a customer Crow knew nothing about. And when Crow found out who the customer was, he canceled their order. Now, why would you cancel the order if your product was the best? The best. Crow walking out of a, what do you got? The Lowe's. Matching, again, personal mix. This is when the customer spent all the money for the personal mix. Screen washed out. He did the entire demonstration in the dark. Another video right here, Network Race 773. Both of those videos are missing now. Here's another demonstration. What's the benefit of his product versus a gray screen? Came on, turn lights on, turn lights off. That video is also missing. This is also the same area where he sat on a bed and told people that he moved when he actually didn't move. Oh, you forgot about that lie he told you. He constantly lies to you guys all the day. All day just lies to you. Solid 5, his problems. He got problems mounting up on him. Let's see, we go here. Here we go. Cried on a receipt and said not ambient light rejection, Kenny. How sad is that? And it's a darker product at that. There we go. Knock yourself out. So you're challenging our company. This is the problem you're going to have in court, Jamie. Best of the best. That's your signature all over your containers, all over everything you put down. You're the best of the best. But you're supposed to be challenging us. We specialize in ambient light rejection technology. So how are you supposed to be me if you can't even basically handle our ambient light environments? Right there, you're crying on the receipt or crying on the label. There you go. I back everything up. You should know that, people. By the end of the day, when I say something, I back it up. It's even dated. Also, too, for the people who own the rights to Frankenstein, they're gathering a court case on him. And we've been basically sending stuff over to them. They're suing Fernando for millions of dollars for a trademark violation because he used their name without paying them a red cent. So he owes them money. There's going to be nothing left for you, man. You don't have any money at the end of the day. Because if you had money, you wouldn't be selling your collection off. A true collector at the end of the day would not give up that collection unless there was something really, really desperately at hand. The only way they would ever sell it. In the situation you're at, you can't go anywhere. You can't go to your own job right now. So if you can't go to your job and you haven't been there for a while, chances are they probably terminated you already. So that means you're home. And that means you're home, you have to figure out how you're going to pay bills. You don't have any banking accounts, you have no money whatsoever, and the only thing you have of value is your collection, and that's why you're selling it off. That's why if you look at it, you can tell he rushed it. There's stuff piled all over the place. You got stuff piled in boxes, a little spot there, and he's trying to sell it as much as he possibly can. Making $500 is not enough to pay your rent. I know people who told me how much your rent is in that building, and you don't need $500 won't even cover that. Bills, expenses, and all that would easily eat that up with no problem. You're going to have to sell off everything in your environment in order to survive. Speakers, projector, all that stuff, you're going to sell it all off. Now what's going to happen when the debt collectors get there and they request that 60 grand? Well, at the end of the day, it's just going to have to go into what do you call, man, I forget the name for it. We're going to collections. That's what we're going to collections. Now, I care about getting 60 grand out of you? No, heck no. We don't want your money at the end of the day. Oh, your money's going to be donated to charity. I got money. I'm good. I can maintain my office. I can maintain my house, buy the equipment I need at the end of the day, pay for all my licenses and all that stuff. I'm good. Cried on the receipts right there. Right there, cried on it. Now, why would you tell me this is not ambient light rejection? This is darker. This is a darker paint. I can see this with a lighter paint. But it's a darker paint. It was in 2023. Right down the label, 2023, you marked it. So if that's the case, right, why would you cry to me about this? And Fernando got nothing to say. See, the thing about Fernando, this is what Fernando is. Fernando talks a lot of trash. When Fernando's faced with real actions, he crumbles. He does it every single time. He talks trash, we give him a challenge, he crumbles. He talks trash, you give him a challenge, he crumbles. We go buy his stuff, he writes on the receipt, he crumbles, he cries. But talks all this trash about being us at the end of the day, wanting to be me. Just like when you said you were ad tech, right? I took you outside next to ad tech in direct sunlight. What happened? You disappeared, you didn't even show up. Not much like you're doing challenges. Nothing new. Fake paints. Fake paints. Fake paints. So your customers who bought the Cinemax paint, this is what you bought. You bought house paint. That's Network Grade 773 by Sherwin-Williams. You literally bought a house paint. You could have stood off the shelf for a gallon. You got super paint would have cost you, probably in California, $30. A little cheaper over here is $20. A gallon. Same thing. Same contrast. Same everything. And he kept screaming about some yellowish tone. Hello, Einstein. We did that test first before you. We didn't see any yellowish tone. There was none there to begin with. Look at this. Pathetic. And he claims that he did all this for his kids. So you left your kids this legacy behind? If you robbing, stealing, and ripping off people? Oh, yeah, they don't want that legacy. They have nothing to do with it. Because if that's the case, that means if you did all this for them, that means you're going to be left with the burden of the lawsuits. I don't think they want those lawsuits. Now, mind you, do I need to send you some Sherwin-Williams, some Network Grade 773? Because like I said, when we did the test, we did 3 of your paints. You only did 1. Do I need to recap on this? Do I need to send you back up some more paint? And clearly state on YouTube and bring the tracking numbers up so everybody can have them and say, hey, look, we need them to do 2 other screen paints live. I bet you send it back. Sherman Williams, Network Grade 773. I'm going to order this paint. I'm going to send it up to you on the 1st or 2nd or something. I'm going to send it up to you. It's going to come with a restriction, just like the other one came with it. You got too much time on your hands, Jamie. Jamie, I need to explain to you that you pay for consequences at the end of the day. Anything you do to me, it comes with consequences, embarrassments. So since you felt the need to come on my channel and act like an idiot, I'm going to send you up some stuff. So you're getting, first you're going to get into Network Grade 773. There are 2 tests that are missing you need to get. I did 3. I'm requesting you do the other 2 personal and Metallica mix. We're sending you back up another one of the improved, advanced version, which this is the real version of your product, which should have been made with Metallica in it, and you made one without it, but this is the real one. I got it sealed. I never used it. It's right here. I'm going to send it right up to you. Ingredients is right up there for everybody to see. We'll post the ingredients. We'll send this up to you too with some Network Grade 773 to do the other challenges on top of that. And there are 2 letters coming in there, 2 certified letters. One certified letter requests you to back up a claim in court where you claim that whole thing you said you did my demonstration, did the challenge. We're expecting you to do the same thing in court. Second one is basically the statement you made about my products being nothing more than black paint. We're going to back that up in court. I'm saying those statements. Now, mind, this is a Zoom call. You will actually show up in person at the courthouse. You better have state ID because you'll need it to get through. You run a risk. It's a very risky situation. You run the risk if you walk into that courthouse. Remember, we have those documents on you. We can actually talk to a judge person and say, hey, look, he's undocumented. We can have you locked up right there on the spot. But you have my word, I won't do that. In due time, it will land on someone's desk. In due time, they will take care of it. Address it. In due time, they will have to reach out to me. But if you don't show up, then we're still going to take you to court either way. Because that means that proves to us in the day you can't back it up. And if that's the case, then I will have a process server with a summit come to your door and stamp your door. Which means if you don't show up for that one, you'll have a bench warrant on you. So we'll start the beginning of that process roughly around next month. I got some things I'm going to do this month I'm working on. We'll take care of that mumbo jumbo there. You got time, sign the document, send it by email to me. We'll notify it and get ready to take this to court. I'm tired of you talking. You talk too much trash on your channel. Mr. Williams, also too, a document is coming to you also too. You made these multiple statements that we're a scan company, so documents will be coming to you. They'll be hitting your building shortly. They know who to take it to. So the minute it's there, they'll take it directly to you. Okay, let me see. Well, we can order it here. I'm going to show them where. They're going to show them we can order online. I want to order it online. I accept all your cookies. Alright, I'm going to order me some of this and get it sent over here. We don't have one of these up here. So we have to have it ordered and sent in. Alright, no problem. I'm going to order you a couple of samples. Samples is enough for him to paint down. Because he's missing 2 demonstrations he's supposed to do. We did 3, you only did 1. You got to do the other 2. Let's find that Black Frankenstein. You know it's a Black Frankenstein paint? Did you know that? Yeah, he has one. These are the receipts right here. He cried on all the receipts. Every single one of them, he cried on them. Told me to buy whatever I wanted, right? Don't ever do that. That's one of the things that you and Danny don't understand. Don't do that stuff. We will buy all your stuff up, man. That's what I did. I went and bought all his stuff up. I've actually bought his stuff twice at $85 a pop. He returned all the money back to our account. He cried on every freaking receipt. Look at this mess. He had a nerve to scream harassment. Typical Karen. It's a classic Karen. You're going to tell me to buy whatever I want. And then when I buy what I want, now it's harassment. This is on a hybrid mix. $85 gave that money back to us. Received the refund. Let's show you how much money he's returned back. And the different. This is some of the receipts. Yeah, he lost a PayPal claim. That was close in our favor. How many PayPal claims did you lose against us, Jamie? All of them. How many did you win against me? None. Not one. Let's get another one here. This is another one. He definitely prefers himself as a third person. Yeah. Crow says you are banned. Crow says you are banned? Do you suffer from multiple personality complex disorder? You said Crow says you are banned. If you want our product, now mind, this is after he tells us to buy whatever we want. That's why I think you're definitely bipolar. But this doesn't sound like a person bipolar. Get on up there. Climb up there, you fool. You're a cat fur in the States. Get on up there. He's tracking something. Get there. Go up there. Go up there. Let me see. Let's see. Crow says you're banned. If you want our products, if our products are garbage, why are you ordering? Because you sent me a email telling me to buy whatever I want. You bipolar? Are you? Which person am I talking to at the end of the day? I'm talking to you. I'm talking to Sarah at the switch. Because you just told us to buy whatever you want. So that's what we're doing. He says, thanks for all the promotion. It's not any promotion you're getting. You can't sell a product like this mess we got over here. We are full of orders. Yeah, sure. Thank you, you scammer. Interesting, scammer. And yet we have this paint right over here. He couldn't basically back up. Okay. And this is supposed to be gunmetal gray. Okay, but sent money back again. Let's see if we got another one fixed up here. Oh, bunch of receipts on this one. Look at all the receipts we got here. Bam, all these receipts. Yeah, that's a lot. This one, he says, money back in my account. I don't need your business. I have a business. You had a business. You don't have a business anymore. Your business is done. If you cooked it, you destroyed your own business. You had to get rid of it. On top of that, like I said, the LLC is another thing too, because they're taunting them on that one. Again, field officer's going to be popping up to his door for that one. Let's see. He has noticed, I have a blessed day. Yeah, this is a person at the end of the day who serves Satan. A blessed day, and stay away, thanks. Now he's begging us to stay away from him. This is after he tells us to buy whatever we want. There you go. Puts his face on the receipt of a Frankenstein. Question I need to ask you here, Jamie. When does paint come in a size large? I've never heard of paint coming in a large. So he doesn't know the liquid calculation system. And if you look at the bottom, look what kind of paint does it say, people? It's supposed to be a black Frankenstein. You ever seen a black Frankenstein paint from him before? No. This is where he's making up dummy cards. So he's making up these fake screen paints, posting on his site so customers can walk into these things and get ripped off. And mind you, have a policy that says if it lands on your property, no return, no exchange. If you open it up, no return, no exchange. That sounds like a scammer to me. Let's look at another one. Another money back to our account. He had to return money. Mind you, when you return money back, you got to pay PayPal fee also too. So not only was he paying us back, but he was paying PayPal some money too out of his account. Let's get another one. Oh, there's another one right here. Let's see how professional Crow is in here. Coming soon. So basically he decided to sit on the order. He didn't want to give us back our money. So I just posted a video by saying that coming soon, we'll be basically doing a demonstration on his Frankenstein mix. It was just basically put there so he would get mad and basically send the money back faster, which it worked. Because you're an easy person to control. Look at this. Coming soon. I don't think so. I don't think so. You loser, you garbage. You loser, you garbage. Gee whiz, man, you can't write for Jack. Coming soon. I don't think so. Loser, you garbage. Loser, you garbage. Gee whiz Louise. You don't spell too well, do you? Let's see. Get a life. I'm the best of the best. Crows mix one and only, and then basically emoji and middle finger. That's supposed to be a professional at the end. Now mind you, this is before when he sent us an email Buy whatever you want to buy. Unlike you, I am a professional. Be a man the first time in your life. And this is what we ended up with afterwards, making orders. Told you, bipolar. Oh, money back to our account again. Can't back it up. Now, PayPal, when we request from PayPal, we don't request the money. We request the item. PayPal gives them a certain amount of time to either have the item or the money. He decided to give us back the money. We had to wait 10 days either. And there's a famous receipt, which we have it posted to a form site so everybody can read through. You can read through it properly on here than here. And it will show you, basically telling us to buy what we want, put links in there to get what we want to buy, blah, 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 blah. So I did. I bought what I wanted to buy. And that's what we got in return. Bipolar Jaime with the multiple personality complex disorder. And now your business and all the trash you talked about, this, that, and the other, has come down to that. Because you couldn't afford your domain fees. Site went under. So as a Wix splits up, his site went under. You don't pay your domain, you can't connect your domain to the site. You have to develop a whole new domain and then do a whole new site. That's what you would have to do. But the problem you have there, Jaime, and the reason why this would be considered to be a scam site, because you can't walk outside your door. Let's be frank here. Let's be frank. Let's be 100% on frank here, okay? No beating around the bush. You're undocumented. You can't pick up paint. You can't basically go in and you can't buy anything from the post office. You can't drop off packages because you run the risk of running into one of those agents outside and locking you up. Let's be real. Now, you can sit there and say at the end of the day that, oh, that's racism. No, it's not racism. It's actually happening. It's actually going on out there right now. So those protests going on. But the difference between those people and you, Fernando, is that those people should not be picked up. You know why? Because those are people that were doing things by the law while they were here in the States. In the United States, they were doing things by the book. They were going out and providing for their families. They were going out and doing law-abiding citizens that are being picked up and taken away. That shouldn't happen. You, on the other hand, it should happen to you. You know why? You're a criminal. That's what you are. You have ripped off people, stole, lied, cheated, everything and anything you could possibly think of. You deserve to be locked up. A person who has basically worked a 9 to 5, a person who takes care of their family and kids, a person who's a law-abiding citizen, has a right to be here. You do not have that right. That person should be free. You should be in jail. Let me explain something to you again, Mr. Fernando, unless you want to call a race card again. Say you were documented. Say you were born here. You are still going to jail. You broke crimes. Tell me what kind of privilege you get at the end of the day where anyone else here is a United States citizen and we go out and rob a bank, we go to jail. Wouldn't that be a little off? If you're here and you're saying that, okay, I was born here, or basically at the end of the day, I came over and got my documents and I'm legit, and I go rob a bank and I shouldn't go to jail, why shouldn't you? Anyone else would have to go to jail. Anyone of us would have to go before a judge. You don't have to go before a judge. It sounds like favoritism to me. So, when you put in the word racism at the end, trying to make me think I'm racist, by the way, I am taking the court for that. I'm filing a lawsuit against you for making that statement. The reason why that was put on you, Fernando, because, again, you are a criminal. You don't have the right here, whether you have documents or not. You should go to jail. And to think that you are getting deported, we kind of saved your neck on that. Might have, I don't know. I'm not sure on that yet, because to tell you the truth, if they deport you, you're not going back to Mexico. They're going to send you to a third world country. That's where they're sending them at. That's the messed up thing about it. If you're going to deport someone, send them back to their own country. Do not send them to a third world country which they know nothing about whatsoever, and then put them into slave camps. Because that's what's going on. So that's what will happen to you. You will end up in a slave camp somewhere. But because of your outstanding charges of what you committed against our company and other people, you will be tried, and here in the United States, you will stay here and do your time. I can't say the rest of your family. I can't say that. That's why I said at the crossroads you're at right now, you need to start praying. But James didn't want to pray. James wants to support Satan. That's what you're doing. You're supporting Satan. So the outcome for you is bad. It's going to be really bad. Any one of those agents pick you up and they go through, they got to do background checks on everybody. And they see the stuff that we had to have, they're going to contact me. They have to reach out to me. And I'm explaining to them exactly from the door. We have nothing but problems from it. This guy's done everything you could possibly think of. I'm going to tell them the truth. Everything. Because you did. I'm not going to lie for you. Why would I lie for you? Why would I sit there and lie for you? I'm not going to make anything up. Because if I make something up, that's perjury. And I'm going to jail myself. I'm not messing up my company for you. I'm going to tell them exactly all the stuff that you did and everything you did. We have documents backing up every single thing you have done. So that's that. So you can't start a new business up. You can't. Can't do anything at all, period. The only thing you can do in that apartment is just sit and wait. Now he may go show some videos up of him outside somewhere to try to show face. At the end of the day, he can go where he wants to go. Technically, he cannot go where he wants to go. Now they're in plain clothing now. Some of them don't even wear the ICE logos at all, period. They're in plain clothing. You don't know who's sitting next to you. They don't come in groups anymore. They used to be in groups. You could tell when they were coming up, but they don't do that anymore. You can't tell which is which. So he watches the news. He knows what's going on. He can't do anything. Only thing he can do right now is just stay put in that apartment and figure out how he can get out to sell his toys or his items. But then again, like I said, you can't go to the post office. Because if he could open up an eBay listing and put his toys up there for sale. But you still have to go to the post office to drop those items off. Unless you're planning just to keep their money and not give them anything. I said better if he basically did the shop where he could sell the items. Because at least if someone comes and buys it, he can get the money. But the problem he's going to have, no problem there. He doesn't do any shipping because they're just picking it up. Tell me I'm not in your head rent-free, Fernando. I'm always in your head rent-free. Jaime, I got people that I know that I don't have documents, right? They're not breaking the law. They're scared. They don't want to leave out the door because they don't want to go get deported. And they haven't done anything wrong. All they did was work and pay taxes. That's what they did. They didn't do anything wrong. You, on the other hand, you did things that were wrong. You know, you make their lives rough. That's what you do. You make your own people's lives rough. That's why they gave him the nickname Mexican Trump. That's his nickname for them. Called Mexican Trump. Because it's like you work for Trump. Because everything you do is the reason why Trump is pushing these campaigns on why they shouldn't be here. That they're criminals. They steal from us, they rob from us, they do this and do that. You're that perfect example, because that's what you did. They can't leave. But the thing about it is the community got their back. Because if they need anything or want anything, either I'm going to step in and help them out, or my people will help them out, or anybody in the community will help them out if they need anything. But you shouldn't be, your wife, I don't even know about that. She had to know half that stuff you were doing. There's no way in the world for that much time she's oblivious to that's what's going on, period. That's why we're looking to file a lawsuit against her too. Because I got funny, she knew what was going on. She didn't step forward to stop that nonsense. She's just as much as responsible as he is. And I think I filed a lawsuit against her too. But in those papers, her name was never mentioned in those papers. There's documents where your name was put in there. Yep. All right, we got 7:19. How did we get in here? I didn't kill any time here at all. Yeah. I'm killing no time. Gee, where's Luis? Tell me about it. Yeah, I had her to say all that time and it came down to this, buddy. Really? You are mad jealous of my work. I always have been mad jealous of my work. All this time for it to come down to what? Where is your business at right now? Nowhere. So you went through all that for it to come down to this. That happened to you, not me. I don't have that issue. My company's doing quite well. That's for you. Oh, I want this one. It fits like this flame better. That technology right there, Fernando, will pay me a lot of money. A lot of money. But we can advertise it when we want. That's the technology you claimed you had. We didn't even know. That stuff is not front projection, it's front and rear projection. That we designed. We didn't even know we had it that day. Claimed to have ad tech. Well, I gave you the opportunity. I took you outside on the refusal, which is your product, right? And you didn't even pull up. This is why we're going to sign multi-million-dollar contracts. Because we got a technology that allows companies to go way outside the box when it comes to advertising technology. So yeah, I spent time in the little rented room. I spent time in the laundry room. I spent time in the garage to come down to a multi-billion-dollar technology now, compared to what you have right now. A website that's non-existent. Even the Google AI has recognized our technology as being the first advanced technology to absorb sunlight. You're recognized as a scammer and a rip-off artist. That's what you'll go down as. That doesn't sound like a very bright future to me. Do I rejoice over your ending? No, I don't. I don't get that about opportunity. It's sad. That's what you turned into. You could have been doing stuff like this. See, Fernando, unlike you, that any time that I get, I utilize everything, every inch of every environment that I'm in to advance my technology to its next level. I create and design new things. You don't. You stay in the same spot, and all you do is ridicule everybody else's stuff, but you have nothing in the end. Time I spent in my sister's laundry room looking for a new place, and basically while I was in there, I did all my paperwork, which is how I got into this building right here, because you need a license to be in here. You got to show your business is legit. That's why I ended up with the DBA, because I did the DBA while I was in there. I got my license in there, and I got my LLC while I was in there. And I did my paperwork properly on my LLC. I didn't lie on my LLC like you did. This is why when I'm starting a new company and the new LLC I require in trademark under my company's new name, I can go in and have my other LLCs dissolved because I didn't lie on my government documents like you did. You can't dissolve yours. Not to worry about having a field officer come to my house or having a whole bunch of letters being sent to me about how I'm missing certain sensitive documents because I lied, which you did. And the reason why you got the LLC, Fernando, is, tell me if I'm wrong here, because you wanted to be me. That's why. You wanted to show you were just the biggest company as me. So that's the reason why you and Partey and the rest of you have nothing to show for it. You know why? Because you spent your time cutting corners, trying to prove to people on the internet you were better than us. You didn't do the job correctly. You cut corners and you sold fraudulent products to customers to try to make you self to believe at the end of the day you were better than us. When it comes to business, it's about time. That's what it comes to. How long are you going to be able to last? The more you advance your technology, the longer your company lasts. The more you can back it up, the longer your company lasts. You have not been able to beat the race of time. And that's why in the race of time, we can all take off at the same time, but one of us is going to cross the finish line and one's not going to make it. Since I was here before you, I've been across the finish line a long time ago. You guys are still trying to catch up. And now what do you have left for it? Your business is tired out, they burnt out, they're no more. Danny talked about making our, what do you call it? Our screen paint, our killer, light killer, what do you call it at the end of the day? Trying to be ignorant at the end of the day. Why? You don't like me? At the end of the day, you don't think I got the intelligent level, Mr. Partey, to be able to do that kind of stuff at the end of the day? And you're sadly mistaken. I can't wait to see your face in court, especially you. I cannot wait to see your face in court. Especially you. Because you thought for some strange reason that somebody like me would not have the ability to be able to do that. Because, you know, somebody like me, so to speak. Kindness not frowned upon too nicely in the prison system. You know that, right? Even with the aerials, you're not even frowned upon too nicely. Even if you do, approve, you know, this. Yeah. Got some interesting letters from him. That's why. But anyway, he came up with his own little philosophy, his little scratch pad, writing things down and stuff like that. I do believe you're not all there. I don't think you're in touch with the world. I think somewhere along the line, being the age that you are, something didn't click right, because I've never heard of a paint ever. I mean, never. In the timeline I've been in business, I've never heard anyone say, even the news, that if you paint the screen in a different direction, the game changes. Man, you're about a stone throw away of wearing a cowboy hat and a lasso out in the middle of the freaking park with some flip-flops on and Speedos screaming the British are coming. You're not too far off from that one. No, you're a nutcase. Yeah, you definitely are. And I guess he felt that, hey, because I am a certain color and people will believe me on whatever I say. Man, you talk a bunch of mumbo jumbo. You don't even know what you're talking about on camera. I send your videos over to different forum sites and they break it down. They have a ball in there. He doesn't know what he's talking about at all, period. Canceled 10 states. That's pretty bad. He gave me back $700 of my money. That had to hurt. Especially when you feel like you're self-privileged and you feel a pride and, you know, this bothers you. That had to hurt to give me back my money. And what messages did I send you when I asked for my money back? I said, give me back my money. Because you know you can't back it up. And what you have to do, you gain back my money. All 7 times. So, you won't do that one again, walk around in your backyard and make statements you can't back up. That's the biggest mistake you do around a company. Never make statements to a company you can't back up when they can. Because they will drag you through the mud while they're doing it. In your case, it would have been a bit of hot glass. But either way, you got dragged pretty bad. Had to teach them a lesson. Yep. Come across my company at the end of the day, you will not only get your stuff crushed, but I embarrassed the daylights out of you like I did with these guys. Got him to cry on every single receipt. Got him to refuse his own paint. Now that I know that you refuse your own paint, I can send paint to you. You'll send it right back to me because you can't back it up. I can embarrass you for an entire month sending you paint every week. Have you send it right back to me every single time. Second, you can't do anything about it. If I was going to go down that route, just to be ruthless for the sake of just doing it, let's say I was able to going to drop my cross and go this direction, I can make your life super miserable right now. In the situation you're at right now, you can't do jack at all. You can't do a thing. I can send you paint down every single week. Every day, I can send it to you. And you'll have to keep sending it back. How embarrassing that's going to be. No, I don't do stuff like that. I could entertain it, but I don't do stuff like that. Got to make me the same thing as you. I don't want to be you. It's even worse. But I am going to send you up the network rate 773 because I think it's only fair. I did 3 of them. You should do 3. Why should you only do 1? That's not fair. Your products are supposed to be the best of the best. They're supposed to be better than everyone else's products. Blah, 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 blah. Everybody else are scammers. They're not. And you do the demonstration. Don't send this back. Don't do that. Everybody will have the tracking number. Everybody watch how it's back. Don't do that. And the letters will be in there too also too. I would advise you sign them. And those will see you in court. When the CCB gets there and he stamps your door, if don't bother knocking the door, you won't come to the door anyway. You're a coward because you won't. You had your wife come to the door. And the way they're designed, we can serve you or your wife. It doesn't make a difference. So I'll just have them save the time and just stamp it to your door. Don't throw it out. If you throw it out, what's going to happen is that address, that email, they'll send you, get your email, I got all your information over here. They'll send you out another letter. And this letter will take in the day when the Zoom call is going to be, so and so and so. So if you don't show up to the Zoom call, they're going to be 60 grand. And I will send process service regardless whether you have it or not to your front door. Reality check at the end of the day. The Eddie Haskell. He is the Eddie Haskell, the Leave It to Beavers. Alright, wasting enough time on this. Let's see. Sunny day, chasing up clouds away. My goodness. Never seen anything like Mr. Fernando ever. Never seen anything like him before, ever. Live from right in front of people. Just lie right in their face. I can imagine what their marriage must be like. You just lie right dead in front of people's faces. And that you still been on there talking about that paint, that house paint at the end of the day. That stuff that we all saw you match house paint. You still been talking about how amazing, how wonderful it is. I know it's worse. Watching him talk about how wonderful his paint is, and he can't back it up, or watching the idiots who bought that stuff who got ripped off. Don't come to me at the end of the day. We can't service you. Buy that house paint. I've gotten a couple of his customers sat there and say, yeah, I bought his product and this, that, and the other. Okay, and why are you calling me? Well, you got a better product than his. No, I'm sorry, we can't help you. So you're just going to deny my money? Yeah, deny your money. You can deny your money. Why would we not deny your money? You chose who you chose, right? Then that's who you buy from. That's what you do. Why are you coming to me? Shouldn't you be happy with that product? Why aren't you happy with it? They didn't want to go all into it now. They don't even want to talk to me now about it. Now they're mad. I said, well, you're unprofessional. I'm not unprofessional. I can sell to whoever I want to at the end of the day. Who says to me I have to sell to you? What law does it say that I have to? I refuse anyone I want at the end of the day. The bigger question is, why are you here? That's the bigger question. You supported that stuff 100%, right? Then how come you're not happy with your products? Why are you over here having a conversation with me? It's not unprofessional. I'm telling it like it is. Now, did I curse at you? Did I scream at you? Disrespect in any way? No. I refused your order. That's what I did. All right then. Then go. That's it. Go back to your pasty gray paint that don't work. That's what you do. You bought it. You supported it. And you deal with it. That's got to suck. We shouldn't have been in and find out we did this for $11 and how much did you guys pay for that stuff? You know that was hobby paint, right? Kids paint. Kids paint. You know, the stuff you get your kids to play, that's the paint we used. Kids paint. That's how I was able to get a gallon for $11. It's washable kids paint. And y'all thought it was something really hyped up about that product. Like, oh man, that product is, it does this. No, you bought kids paint. It's like the theory of you have people who know art and people who don't know art. You know a person, the high-end art person, blah da 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 da. You know, talk all this crap, da da da. Let's have a little fun with this person. let's take my kids' paintings and let's put it behind a real fancy, expensive frame, and let's hang it up in the art gallery and see if they can't tell the difference between a kid's painting or a person of an actual high-end professional grown adult. You'd be surprised what you find out in the end. First thing they look at that frame. Find it's like $3,000 frame. And who would stick a $3,000 frame on a kid's painting? But you should know the difference between the two, regardless of the frame or not. You'd be surprised when people fail that one. Yep. Now, kids don't sign it, you sign it. It's kind of fancy handwriting. You're like, wow, okay, this is quite impressive, because they stare at those frames. They realize the frame's $3,000. Who puts a child's painting on a $3,000 frame? It's an experimental frame. You put anything you want, you're hanging anywhere in our gallery. See, hey, what do you think about that right there? You see, the artist was angry, aggressive. And the strokes just seemed like these sort of madness. Okay, George. And some of them got it. Some of them sat there and said, "Kid painted that, man. You think I'm stupid?" Like, yeah, okay, you got me. We had fun with that. Anyway, yeah, it's interesting. And then to watch people come by, like people that are not art critics or trying to add their high importance, you know what I mean? And oh, it's hilarious. That's what Jamie did to you guys. Jamie went and showed you guys a bunch of fake, crappy paints. And it turned out that each one of those paints did something special, something different. Oh, they're the same thing. All of them. Oh, my goodness. This is why I'm so glad that the majority of our company's B2B. Because you can't fool those people with that garbage. Now, you got some people at the end of the day, high people been around paint for a long time, screens and stuff. They'll pick up on it. But then again, now, anybody who has a gray screen and ambient light rejection AR, yeah, your stuff is outdated compared to ours. I would love to see you get in the forum site and say, yeah, my gray ambient light rejection paint, my AOR basically breeds 100% contrast, breeds perfect color levels, can operate in fully lit environments. No. Not doing that. Okay. This has been fun. Now, I left some videos out. We got some match embedders in there. Actually, they're all match embedders. Now, mind you, when we do a match embedder, let me explain something to you about the match embedder video. We expect for the video to be done exactly the same way as ours. Match or better, which means in those videos, and that smash up, if you see a 250-inch screen, then guess what, Jack? Get the cracking. You got to build a 250, display it outside. If you see me doing screens outside in direct sunlight, then guess where you're going to be at 50 lumens. You matching better means in that mashup, you'll match up all demonstrations. My job is easy, right? Now keep in mind, I'm supposed to be the scammer, right? I'm supposed to be the rip-off artist, right? But yet, when it comes to those matching better demonstrations, all of a sudden nobody wants to do them. Nobody wants to sign contracts and go into court. Don't be a bunch of, excuse my French here, punks about it. Because either if we catch you and you can't back up that video, I'll take you to court and I'll take it out of your hide. Which means I'll file $1 million lawsuit against you, which we know you cannot pay this. So if you're out there doing these videos and you can't do one of those matching betters, prepare that when we get you and you get a letter that pops up in your box that says, hey, we're suing you for so and so, prepare, that's what's going to happen to you. Because if you can't do the matching betters, you know what's going to happen in court. So a reality check for you if we catch you. Now, as I said before, that's what the matching betters are. Complete the entire video. There's 16 videos in there, 10, whatever. Complete all of them exactly the same way we did it. No dark environments, none of that bullcrap nonsense. You got it exactly the same way we did it. If it's so easy, you should have no problem doing it, right? All right then. Matching batter challenges. I put 4 requests in. A couple of them, one of them I had to flex on you. Oh, we had to flex on them. Don't give me no choice but to flex on you. And then you want to go on my comment sections, you want to cry. So I'll put a little message in there from now on. To the haters, match or better challenge, or cry in my comments. There you go. So you're not crying, because you cry too much. You cry way too much. Jamie, you're finished. You understand me? Your business is finished, washed up. We crushed you, destroy you. You're gone. That's it. But I'm not done with you yet. When I get you in court, because I'm challenging your company against the stuff that you did against mass fraud, when you ripped off a lot of customers, you're still going to have to go through that process all over again. So all those screens you didn't want to paint in, my lawyer will direct you to paint those screens up in court. You can't deny the attorneys when they ask you questions, especially when the judge follows up by saying, entertain it. The bigger question you got, how are you going to get to the courtroom to begin with? That's some of your biggest problems. You're going to need that apartment sooner or later. You're going to have to go into that courtroom sooner or later. And you talk all this, I tell you, things back up and hit you in the face, man. You talk all that trash to that bounty hunter. You get a bench warrant, he's going to be the first one to come for you. Because you talked all that trash to him. Now you're going to get a chance to meet him. And he's an ex-Marine. Him and his wife. So anyway, again, you get a chance to meet him. So you better show up for court. Because the minute it goes out, there's a bench warrant on you. Every bounty hunter that's trying to claim that get some money is going to be looking for you. And he's going to be one of them. Matter of fact, I'm going to alert him first. Yeah, dude did not show up for court. At all, period. The official bench warrant on, you go check. You go back and check, see if there's a bench warrant. Yeah, he's going to come looking for you. You get a chance to meet him. You can tell him all the stuff you said to him on that text message. About how he was a coward. And you could smack him in the face and you could do all this stuff to him. Tell him personally. If you see something like 6'6", all muscle coming towards you, built up a wall, that's him. Can't miss him. He's tatted up. Got tattoos all over him. There's travel tattoos all over him. You can't miss him. You have a nice little conversation with him. Now, he's a professional at the end of the day. And if you took off that badge and everything, he said he's out on the street, you're in trouble. Other than that, he's just going to, I would leave it at that. People fall all the time. You know, put you in that wagon and cart you off and get his money. So show up for court. I really appreciate it. I want to go outside and do a demonstration. I've been outside in a while. Definitely some demonstrations. What's my charge back on right now? Now, Jamie, unlike you can't go anywhere, but I'm going to go outside. I'm going to do some demonstrations. I want to do some demonstrations in the sun. I'm going to charge your unit. When's the last time we used the unit? What did we have it plugged into? Let me see what's going on here. Sure, it's what we got on the charge. It's 100%. Okay, there we go. DC power! 100%. Boom. Alright, charge my phone up. I need that from outside. There we go. Set it go. Who are you there chasing? I don't care if you're up there. You don't knock the thing over. Get tracked. You go chase if you want. It's great. Matter of fact, I clear when he's out. You need to go up high and sit there and chill. That'd be funny. That'd be something where I do the recording. Get you to go up there. I'm gonna put a little area up here for you. All right, a little ledge up here for you. You can go high there. All right, how about that? Like that? Pretty cool? All right, I got you. Pretty much you probably want a little ledge to high up in, you know, higher up. All right, let me see. We need, where's the other phone? That's the phone to charge. I got it on me. That's the phone to charge. I'll probably sit back and go, oh, he's probably brand on his channel right now. Don't care. You got nothing to show for it. So don't care. In the day. You talked about that, about getting a lawyer. You can't get a lawyer. You have to have documents to get lawyers. You know that, right? You got to show ID, state ID. You have to have a state ID. All that stuff to get an attorney. I had to show a state ID to pay off a phone bill. Never had to do that one before, but guess what? Now you do. You're talking at one point filing charges. How you gonna file charges? You can't go to the courthouse. That's another thing too, empty threats. How are you going to file criminal charges against me? Number one, no, you don't have any criminal charges against me. Number two, how are you going to do that? You know, you walk through one of those units anywhere, any form of building involving courts, anything, you got to go through metal detectors. But show state ID as you're walking through. All right, Carl, I can't talk a long time. Get a lawyer. You don't have a lawyer. You can't get a lawyer. You're telling a lot of people lies in the day. You weren't making any money. I know you weren't making any money. You weren't making any money when you were selling the paints. You weren't making any money. I added that up. Because I made that mistake myself when I was first started off. I used to sell my paints for $60. You don't make any money off $60. By the time you get done paying for all your expenses and everything, you're left with $10 if you're lucky. You're left with $5 if you're lucky. You ain't making that kind of money. I tried to go and I had to talk to my mother. I said, what? She said, well, your product do something different? I said, yeah, it does something different than other paints did. And it did. That's why I got contracts. I made more money when I was doing great paints than you making great paints today. So when you were making your, the highs you made was what, $95? I made $230 a quart for my product and another $300 to $400 a gallon for my product. And it's sold better than yours. Matter of fact, I got me a global contract. You didn't get anything like that, did you? No, because your products don't do well. We didn't have 4K high-end projectors back then. I was using a 720p projector, and I was lucky to get one 1080p projector. And that's how I ran my business. And you're running on these high-end 4K projectors, high-point 1080p projectors, darkened environments. I barely darkened environment with a great screen. I always had lights on. Go back and check my old videos. I had beta testers testing all my stuff out. You can't have a beta tester testing your stuff. And you know why? Your stuff didn't work. You didn't have half the stuff I was doing when I was making great screen paints. But I know at $60, you don't make no money because I did that myself. I charged $60 when I added everything out. I was like, man, by the time I get done, I'm lucky if I got $10 to my name. That's how I know how much you were making. And then on top of it, consider the fact you're still working your job as you're running your company. You've been doing that for what, 5 years or so? That tells me at the end of the day that you don't trust your company enough to make enough money to support you. That's why you have your job. Your job is your main bread and butter. You're telling people to go get a job. If you're running a company, you don't need to go get a job. That is your job, idiot. That is your job. Only time people work in a second job while they're running a company, they're just starting the company, they need to make some revenue to put into the company. You see when they come in sometimes like, man, yeah, I work, man, I'm putting money into my business, I'm about to have my own business at the end of the day, I can't wait, just got a couple more months, I save a couple more checks, and I got my company. And you see when they come on their last day, they come on and say, well, I'm out of here, I'm going to take that chance, I'm about to take that leap, I'm about to start my own business. That's what they do. They don't continue to work the same job for years and run the business at the same time. That's bogus. That's how I know you didn't have enough confidence in your own product. Tell me if I'm not living your hit rent free. And you're going to tell other people to go get a job because you're still working a job and trying to run a business at the same time? You don't know what you're doing. Definitely don't know what you're doing. You didn't have enough trust in your own business. If you don't trust your own business, it means you don't trust your product. If you don't trust your product, why should other customers trust your product to begin with? Because you're taking their money at the end of the day. You should have trust in your business. Well, I should have picked up on that one a long time ago. But why in the world is he still working a business and in a company for how long? Because he didn't trust that product to support his lifestyle. When you take little trips to Disney World, you think that's a lot of money. You're going to a famous, you're going somewhere you spend a lot. Dude, it's Disney World. Disney World doesn't cost a lot of money. It doesn't. Especially when you live in the area where Disney World is at, doesn't cost a lot of money. Now, when you take an airline ticket, them tickets cost you $800 for those tickets. Because I know I flew over to Disney World from Philadelphia. My tickets cost me $750 a piece. I did $2,700 in Disney World. I spent $1,600 in freaking Magical Kingdom by itself. I spent a week down there. You go back for one, come up one day, come back. Yeah, because you live in the area. That's why. A little different. I paid for a resort when I was up there. You didn't pay for no resort. You weren't there for the whole day. I spent a week up there. How much money it costs to spend in Disney World for a week? About $2,700. Probably costs more now. That was $2,700. And that was $2,700 for the trip to do ins and outs. I spent another $5,000 in there just for other stuff that I wanted to do outside of that whole setup. As a matter of fact, I paid for all food accommodations top when I was in there, but never went to any of the restaurants because I spent most of my time out in the park eating. That's what she said. That's a waste of money. I said, yeah, pretty much it is. But I had also to Mr. Rogers, all my shopping carts were open, so I was making money while I was up there. By the time I got home, I didn't already make my money than when I spent over in Disney World. That's why I said, who locks their shopping carts when they're on a trip? No one does that. I go on eBay and I buy projectors, and the person say, well, I'm on a trip. I went back to such so-and-so, buy the projector, if you want or not. I buy it anyway, because he's going to come off his vacation. I'm in no rush. That's how people do it. He makes money while he's on vacation. Nobody locking their shopping carts when they go on vacation. That's why not? You don't lose out on money. That's what I've heard my entire life. Now, you don't want me buying your products. You have to return my money back to my account and go to another embarrassment. That's why. That's what that's all about. But anyway, long story short, you guys are not here. I'm about to hit B to B pretty soon. Company to company. And you guys can't go there. You know why? Because you ain't got the license and the paperwork to begin with. No, you can't even back the products up. That's what you're mad about right now. So look at your situation, look at mine, Mr. Fernando. I go where the freak I want. You can't. You put yourself in that situation. If you serve God the right way, you would be to go where you want to go because you're protected by the blood, but you're not. You serve Satan. You walk out there, Satan's going to eat you alive. You serve the devil. And he got a nerve to be underneath underneath my comments crying over my videos that you can't even complete. That's all you got. It's just crying in my videos at the bottom about things I've long talked about to everybody about. Liking your own comments. We know you like your own comments. You can see it from here. Try to make me look bad when you're sitting up there, don't even have a website and you're afraid to leave your apartment. And what the devil turns you into. How that stadium? I think that stadium was right over there. It's right there. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. It's right here. Alright. I got some work and things I gotta do. I'm gonna go on my walk today. I got 15,000 yesterday. I'm trying to reach another 15,000. I'm happy with that. Did a little walking, a little exercising today, which I should be doing to keep myself in shape. Wasn't a charge, right? Okay. Yeah, I just done it. You guys are pretty building a legacy for yourself. Went over there in an apartment complex, showing naked pictures of himself all over the place. Weirdo. And this guy is claiming to be a preacher at the end of the day, but yet talking about raping guys. This is the kind of company you guys keep. I know in the other hand, you guys over my address. And you guys know each other like that? Yeah, Williams and Jaime are very good friends. Williams talks very highly of him and his rants to us on how much he feels about Jaime at the end of the day. You can't trust either one of you guys. You guys dock people's addresses and all kinds of weird stuff. Lie about products, falsify specification sheets, lie on government documents. Whew. You ever notice that Rogers didn't have a problem with McAfee? He didn't have a problem with Fernando, but he had a problems with Williams. Even though Williams is as nutty as a fruitcake, he still had a problem with him. And he had a problem with the rest of them. Even though McAfee messed his videos up multiple times, actually McAfee outed him several times in his videos, so this product's really not being what they're supposed to be. Like I said, that other one he shot, I don't know if he pre-recorded the video, how he didn't see that one coming. Unless he meant for it to happen. But either way, he didn't really scream and yell or out them like he did the other one did, because, you know, different shade. Look at you. What are you about to do? You're going to bite that long toady. How dare you bite that long toady? That's your long toady? You don't even know it's your long toady. Alright, I'm going to go play out in the sun. I got things to do at the end of the day. My stuff is already contracted. We're ready to go. Man, I can't wait. Offline adventure is going to be amazing. All you haters out there upset and bitter at the end of the day. Because your products don't work. Want you to match them better with demonstrations. Look, that paint you support. Go do the same thing I did on my demonstration. Even this one right here. Do the same thing I'm doing right now on that great mix you got on your wall that you supported. Show me. Paint a 250 inch. Oh, you don't have the time to place it. Oh, okay, whatever. That's how it runs down to. Well, I don't have the time to place it. That's all? That's all the excuse you have. But you claim to be better than me. If I'm such a fake, do the same thing. Come on, back it up. Come on, get to order all those sample sheets like I had to go out and order sample sheets, put those long hours in, do the same thing I did. So if I find your videos, and I will find your videos, pictures will find them, I'm going to drag you into a courtroom and make your life an absolute nightmare. If you understand, you understand. We'll find any of your videos out there. And you think we can't track down your whereabouts? Oh, we'll find you. And when you see that letter pop up with my name on it, my company's name, your life is over. Because you know what I'm going to do to you once I get you into a courtroom, right? We're trying $1 million lawsuit. And if possible, there's enough there, we can prove evidence, I'm going to get you a year to 10 years in jail. Even a year in jail is even worse enough. You don't want a year. You don't want to sell. 5 minutes in the holding cell, I've watched people snap. The reality of it all. The stress of it all. The anxiety. People snap. They lose it in there. Especially when fights break out in those places. That's where you want to be at. So if we find you, keep in mind, our lawyers are pushing for 2 things. Prison time and mass lawsuits. That's it. You will never ever get a crease in the seats that are ever from my attorneys. Never. We're going straight for the jugular. You get me? All right then. Glad we had that nice little talk. Now I got to go. I got business to conduct. All right. Bye-bye.